Packland Pilsner, that's kind of interesting because you had it and then you brought it back.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things where I think we first made it in like '98 or maybe '99, and it was one of those beers that at the time we felt like it was a great beer, but the packaging wasn't where we wanted it to be, and after a little bit we decided to pull it because there was just so much more interest in like from a craft brew standpoint, like the higher ABV beers, but at the end of the day, I think the reason we brought it back was just because we all just wanted that one session beer that we could, take with us on a canoe trip or a backpacking trip or out on a boat or something like that. And so we redesigned the packaging. We brought it back and almost instantaneously became our best-selling beer. But even with some of the other beers that we made, like our Luna Coffee Stout, obviously has been a very great seller for us year in, year out, and continues to be.
When did you bring that one about, or when did you start making the Luna Stout?
So in '99, when we moved in here, Joe Carl started playing around with an Irish Stout, and Mark Patel from Luna Coffee is a good friend of ours, and said, hey, would you think about making a coffee stout? I'll come up with a really great coffee blend for it, and we collaborated and came up with this idea to do like a cold press of coffee for it, and so that was just like instantaneous when we made that that combination of flavors. It was just like clear that, oh yeah, this is better than the Irish Stout. This is what we want to focus on, and so it was probably right around 2000, 2001, something like that, and really for a long time it was the flagship of all the brands we sold. So.
And you did, I mean, you talked about that IPA crate, the pale ales, the Indiana pale. So I mean, you have a good variety of different pale.
Yeah, today, I mean, we actually make 3 different IPAs. We also have a pale ale and a nitro version of our pale ale. Nitro version of our IPA, but we make just our normal IPA. We make White Cap, which is a white IPA, and then we make White Out, which is an Imperial IPA. So,
what's kind of so you have your regular IPA, and then you got this white IPA. Kind of in your tasting, or if you're trying to explain the difference in terms of like the flavor profiles, how would you go about explaining the difference from one to the other of your pale ales?
Well, I would say, with White Cap, the idea was to have this sort of unbalanced, very light-bodied beer with some citrus notes, but then a very floral finish, as well with kind of a citrusy hop finish. But it's low ABV. It's basically 4.2%. So. Our IPA is sort of like a big step up from that, coming in at 6.7 ABV, and then big floral hop finish, more body, but also more bitterness, right around 65 IBUs.
Do you bring back the same seasonals, or do you kind of play around and think, well, maybe this year we'll do something a little different, or what's kind of the approach to that?
We do like to play around a lot. I mean, I think one of the things that you see with our beer is the summer is probably the biggest selling period for beer. So we have the most seasonal products in the summertime, like the Saison, the Cherry Wheat. This year we came out with Evergreen, which was a new session IPA. That was draft only, so we haven't bottled or canned that yet. But again, just something fun to play with. And then we move into our Winterland, which will come out in October, November time. But to be honest with you, I think it's important to stay relevant, and so we're constantly coming up with new beers to introduce to the market. And so we're not so hard and fast that we'll stick with Winterland, Maple Bock, and that sort of thing forever. But as long as there's some demand for them, we'll continue to produce them, I think so.